Valorant console, bro. What happened to it? What happened to it? If you click this video, either you're a console player or you're a PC player who is like, oh yeah, Valorant console, huh? Because most PC players have already long forgotten about it, and it kind of begs the question, was it a failure? Is it something in the passing? Is it something that wasn't even worth Riot putting resources towards? Well, I'm not gonna waste your time and go ahead and say, was Valorant console a failure? No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. We can't call it a major success by any means, at least not yet, but it most certainly was a success. If we use worldwide Google Trends, we can actually see an elevation in Valorant search and interest altogether alongside console's release. From there, it actually remained elevated throughout the entire summer, only recently dropping. However, this is likely due to a lot of players returning back to school more than anything else. Since this is Google search volume, it's going to be more affected by these things. It would be super cool to have tangible data, like direct player numbers, but Riot doesn't share this stuff. There are some other weird metrics that I could kind of share, but I don't know how much you guys will, either believe it or feel it's tangible. Like, for example, since I run both Dittozkul as well as Valorant Curios, I can also attest to the fact that I have seen a small spike in CPM or RPM, which is how much money I make per view. And for those of you who don't know, when console players watch YouTube videos, a lot of them come from more first world countries, which actually elevates RPM and CPM, meaning I make more money per 1,000 views. This can actually go in reverse. So for example, when Valorant Mobile launches, if I were to make Valorant Mobile videos or there's an influx of mobile players from third world countries, it'll also drop the CPM and RPM. Back when I also used to do League of Legends and did a League channel, we saw this happen with Wild Rift, etc. For example, if we want to use the PlayStation 5, US, UK, Japan, Germany, France, China, Canada, and Australia just make up the top 8 when it comes to people who actually bought and used the PlayStation 5. So it's a little key thing to note. So there has clearly not only been an influx of new Valorant players in general thanks to console, but the fact that they're integrating, meaning they are watching the normal PC content, they're watching the Twitch users, they're watching my videos, just they're consuming Valorant content in general, irregardless of the platform they're playing. They are not really searching Valorant console specific videos unless it's to learn or get better. Otherwise, they're just watching, in general, Valorant videos, which actually leads to the next section of this video. Is console any good? What about its longevity? Will these players actually stick around? Temporary elevation. Well, it's a high quality game. It's polished, it performs excellent, 120 frames, it's smooth. Anyone who claims otherwise is just wrong in my opinion. Sure, it may not feel as ideal as a mouse and keyboard, and lots of new players will be trying Valorant and might even hate the game completely, all of which is valid, it's fine, but objectively, the game is polished, it's well made, it's void of basically all bugs and glitches, and it's smooth, and it's accessible on the console. Longevity is a different topic though, because if we were to guess, I actually think it will have a long life cycle, but it sort of still depends. Let me explain. So the reason being is, this is reminding me a lot of the Overwatch days. Back when it came to the console, lots of new players entered the space and it simply did not divide the space. The two games don't just coexist, they are making one larger community. But before we continue on with this topic, a quick word from today's sponsor. Dude, having bad ping is the end of your Valorant career. It is so annoying to play with high ping. Luckily, today's sponsor, Exit Lag, has the solution for you. You hop onto their website, you can choose a plan, sign up, you can go to the downloads to just download the program itself. You open the .exe, log in with your new created account, and from there, you'll be able to try it out. Let me take you through the program. It's very simple. There's AI route optimization, dynamic stabilizers, diagnostic centers, and a full list of supported games that is kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie, it can feel a little bit endless, but we'll use the search button over at the top to search Valorant, click on Valorant, and you can see everything's automated. But before I actually start it, let's hop into the game and showcase that I have right around 30 ping. I have pretty good ping, but still, let's give this a go. I'm gonna choose North America and then let it do its thing on its own. If you reboot the game here, you'll actually know that it's working because in the bottom right corner, it'll pop up. So now I know that the connection is established and we're rebooting Valorant. Hop back into the game and I have 22 ping. So reduced by 8. I'm lucky, I'm blessed, I have good ping. If you have high ping, 60, 70 plus, and it brings it down to 40 or 50 or 30, that's obviously a massive game changer. Now, luckily, they also have new multiplayer plans. For the duo plan, you can have 2 users, 1 leader, 1 invited member. For the squad, up to 5 users, 1 leader, 4 invited members. So if you're in a household, maybe brothers, sisters, friends, etc., and there's a lot of people on the internet, having properly routed connection matters even more, and you can get a discount by getting a bundle bundled plan there. So what are you waiting for? Try out Exit Lag using the link down below. Alright, right where we left off, like I said, one larger community. Many new Valorant players will consume all the most accessible content, being streams, YouTube videos, etc., while learning their own platform. This genuinely circles back to how Riot made consoles so well polished and familiar. Sure, I only have a few hours total on console, and all of which I played were just for my YouTube videos, so again, my background footage, yikes, but still, it's familiar. I held the same corners, angles, same crosshair placement, same strategies, same everything. The console community and PC community are the same. The console players can integrate smoothly just because of how well this version has been made. I don't know if that's going to be the same thing with mobile. I think there'll be a bigger divide there. It depends on how they design it. Wild Rift was so different than normal League of Legends, even in the entire map design and stuff, that it's just its own community now. This is not happening with console and PC. This is further helped by the fact that, of course, Valorant's a free game, so it's not weird to see it in the top 10 or top 20 on the PlayStation Store, and I expect this to spike from time to time alongside new content releases and updates to the game. In truth, Valorant console is simply tied to Valorant as expected. It helped to grow the player base and the community, but it may suffer the same, if not worse, repercussions from inevitable downsides. Let me explain. So, for example, when ISO was broken, it made console a much bigger pain to play than even on PC. It felt more suppressing, and also content droughts are going to be more brutal on console. When the game eventually hits its content drought from a lack of new agents, maps, or meta changes, I genuinely believe console players are more likely to lose interest quickly than PC players. I could be wrong, and I'm open to that, but since I don't have any real data, I just feel that the average console player will be more casual than the average PC player. Just to be clear, there are hardcore sweats everywhere, and console players that would completely dunk on me, even if I was playing on PC. But I feel that it's kind of not overreaching to say that there's a higher percent of casual players on console. If we take games like Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege, the average console player is quote-unquote worse than the PC counterpart, and we have data on those two games, unlike Valorant. And when a player dedicates a ton of times to both platforms equally, they generally say that it's always easier to rank up on console, and it sort of just makes sense. Personally, I did play some console ranked, and I would say, yeah, it's easier. That's at least how I feel about it. But I do believe that it's going to be 100% more finicky when it comes to content droughts on console, as people will kind of lose interest quicker. I feel like console gamers have a larger chance of kind of cycling through library of games, etc. But it's less about variety of games and still more about, because if someone is completely casual, they're more likely to get bored with Valorant. Like, Valorant isn't designed inherently to be casual, so I believe Valorant console will stay strong and have a very good niche player base that will be completely dedicated, that will end up becoming sweat, that will 100% integrate with Valorant content and its communities. And then I also think it's going to happen with some people playing casually, but I feel there's going to be some sort of drop off because Riot has proven over and over, and even stated themselves, they're just not focused on the casual side of things. And I had a ton of issues with that as a PC player. I've made tons of videos on this channel, and I'm sure I have to remake some of them by now since they're getting a little bit old, just about stuff like the lack of progression, the lack of for fun game modes, the lack of custom options, the lack of new content in general, like even like holiday content or something to excite the player base or rile behind the community. Like, community events are extremely lacking. Sometimes they're just a random code or something we can't even interact with. Like, Riot sucks when it comes to that. It's not even close. Valorant is absolute trash when it comes to that. Do we need full out Fortnite silly goofy type stuff? No, we don't. But we do need some more interaction. We do need some more kind of, I don't know what to call them, real-time events, in the sense of, like, as a community, maybe we complete challenges together to get tangible rewards with some nice visuals, things that like lock us in, that get us having fun as casual players. And if Valorant really isn't going to add that, then the console version is going to suffer even more than the PC version. At least that's what I genuinely believe. But the most important question here is, if you are a console player and you've been grinding console, even if you've played PC before, or if you've only played console and that's how you've been introduced to Valorant, let me know down below what you think. Do you feel you're already getting bored of the game? Do you think you need more casual game modes like I said? Or maybe you don't resonate with anything I said and you're addicted? Just let me know.